Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tyler, and today we are going to be doing what if future Beerus woke up. Now, this what if was actually supposed to be planned months ago before New Year's. However, I think this what if at the time wasn't really that good. However, looking back at it now, at my current level of writing, I do think that this what if could go somewhere, and it could be a nice, fun one-shot what if. And today I'm actually not here alone, since I'm actually here with my boy Aventai, or Aventi, that everyone likes to call him. I just call him Aventai, don't judge me.
Hey, collecting rings like a Sonic. Bitches wanna party. My wrist getting heavy. Got 'em on a diet, yeah. Flex like I'm Hogan. Yo, bitch coming over. We respect.
We start our story off with future Beerus waking up, and this Beerus is obviously the future one, and he wakes up a little bit after Trunks kills Cell and brings peace to the future timeline. Whis would tell Beerus about how a Saiyan named Goku defeated Frieza. However, he is currently dead, and the only Saiyan left is the son of Prince Vegeta, who defeated a threat that messed up his planet long ago. Beerus would be intrigued of what this Saiyan, aka the son of Prince Vegeta, is capable of, and maybe he might know of the Super Saiyan God. That being said, Beerus and Whis would travel to Earth, and a big difference here is that Kibito and Shin wouldn't try and attempt to warn the Z Fighters since they have no knowledge of them at the moment. However, Shin and Kibito are aware of Beerus' presence, but they're not going to do anything to try and intervene or anything like that. No warning, no nothing. They're just going to chill on the Kai planet and want no smoke with Beerus. And they are a little bit worrisome of what Beerus is going to do, especially Kibito, because if Beerus tries to pick a fight, he's not going to try and pick a fight with Shin that would lead to his death, because Shin and Beerus have their lives linked. However, Kibito, it's fair game for Beerus, so Kibito's a lot more scared than Shin. Anyways, we can just cut back to Beerus and Whis' perspectives rather than the Supreme Kai's, because they're not really important right now. It was just a little side note. Beerus and Whis would eventually arrive onto Earth, and they immediately land near Trunks, who is currently doing some minor rebuilding. Trunks, seeing these two come from out of nowhere and from space, is confused as to who they are, and Beerus would simply introduce himself along with Whis. And Trunks, having his guard up, would politely ask as to why these two are here, and that would then lead into Beerus questioning about the Super Saiyan God to Trunks and if he has any idea about it. Trunks would then say to the two of them that he doesn't know anything about a Super Saiyan God, but he does know stuff about a Super Saiyan because he can transform into that transformation. Beerus is intrigued and would request a spar, which Trunks would respond with by saying no, and he needs to get back to rebuilding, but Beerus simply just taps the random building, and the building would just simply get erased via Beerus' Hakai energy. Trunks would remark how Beerus didn't really have a power to go and sense off of, rather it was just a large pressure, so Trunks is a little taken aback by this. Trunks would still be taken aback at the fact that he destroyed the building so easily, and he's getting ready to get in a fighting stance, but Beerus would then say how he'll do this to the entire planet if he doesn't give him answers. Again, Trunks doesn't know what this guy is capable of, so he can't let his guard down, and he doesn't want to fight this guy in the city, or at least spar with him or show him Super Saiyan anywhere near the city. So they decide to relocate to a near wasteland, where Trunks would then get in a fighting stance, saying he'll show him off Super Saiyan. At that point, Trunks would then tap into regular Super Saiyan, and he would then charge in at full speed against Beerus, trying to hit him with his sword, but Beerus would simply just catch the sword and would just simply push it back and then flick him away. The sword would fly out of Trunks' hands, and Trunks would fly into a near mountain, and with just that simple flick, Trunks knows that this guy is way out of his league, at least in his Super Saiyan state. Trunks realizes he should probably kick it up a notch, and so he decides to just say screw using the sword and just powers up into Super Saiyan 2 and rushes at Beerus with everything that he's got. And if you guys are questioning if Trunks would learn Super Saiyan 2 or not, well, I would say yes, because after fighting Cell, I do think he would be keeping up with his training, and he would eventually evolve his regular Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Grade 2, into Super Saiyan Grade 4, and then Super Saiyan 2. With that being said, Trunks would try and bomb rush Beerus with everything that he's got, but it would be simply not enough, and Beerus is rather disappointed. He would just simply flick Trunks again, and this flick would knock Trunks into his base form and then into an unconscious state, and Beerus would be still disappointed, and eventually Trunks would wake up with Beerus and Whis then asking to make sure if he knows anything about the Super Saiyan God. Trunks would then say again that he knows nothing about a Super Saiyan God, but rather only Super Saiyan in a form that ascends past a Super Saiyan. After Trunks confirms that he doesn't, he is curious of Beerus' power source, and he would then say how when he powered up his aura and when he destroyed the building, he didn't really sense his ki, but rather a pressure. Whis would then explain as to why this is the case, and it's because of God Ki. Trunks would then question if the Super Saiyan God potentially had something to do with that God Key, which Beerus and Whis could confirm. Essentially, he would then be told the Saiyan lore by Beerus and Whis about the Super Saiyan God and how a Saiyan legend was able to obtain God Key and basically allowed him to be in a state that had God Key or contained God Key, but it wasn't used very long. At that point, Trunks would think for at least a couple of seconds before bam, a light bulb would then finally appear, and he would then put two and two together and question if maybe they could help him obtain this kind of key through any means necessary in order to satisfy Beerus with a battle. Surely, since they know how to use God Key and know how to access it, maybe they could help Trunks access it and see if he could become a Super Saiyan God. Beerus would say how he wants to fight now, but why would Beerus simply just not sleep until then? But Beerus is debating in his head at the moment, and Beerus reluctantly decides to give this guy a chance since Whis is somewhat down to help this guy. The reason why Whis is down to actually train Trunks is because, well, if Trunks is able to obtain God Key in time and actually fight Beerus, this would be a delighted sight to see Beerus have an actual opponent. Whis is also thinking that this guy is probably going to be the best God of Destruction candidate they can probably have because everyone else and all the strong potential fighters on Earth are all dead. And to avoid confusion, Whis isn't the one talking about the Earth fighters, rather it's me explaining as to why I'm saying Whis would let Trunks train with him. Goku, Vegeta, all those guys are gone, and Trunks is really the only strong one left, and Whis honestly believes if this guy could give Beerus a challenge, it would be nice to see him in the future become a Super Saiyan God, and even surpass Beerus. But that's if the Super Saiyan God isn't enough to stop him. He's thinking about in the long run, and he's just overall excited to see if Beerus would be defeated by this guy. At that point, Trunks would then understand what he has to do, and before he goes out to go and train with Whis, Trunks would say to his mother that he has to go out for a few months, and he would explain as to why to Bulma, and Bulma would have no other choice but to accept. And she will say she'll make sure if any future threats arrive that threaten the entire planet, she'll make sure everyone is getting into safety, at least as many people as possible, and Bulma would then last say to Trunks that she loves him and to kick that purple cat's ass. After this, Trunks would begin his training on Beerus' planet, where Whis would teach him about God Key, and of course over the few months, Trunks would get a lot more powerful and even learn a lot about God Key and even head inside the room Goku and Vegeta were once in canon. However, instead of saying he gets blue right away, let's just say it's gradual, and at first he learns Super Saiyan God, and Trunks comes out in a burning red aura which would awaken Beerus due to the pressure. Beerus would then fully wake up, and he would then question if Trunks is ready to fight, and Trunks would then nod saying yes. Trunks and Beerus then begin their fight, with Trunks trying his best to defeat the Purple God. However, it is very difficult due to Beerus actually holding back, but this fight does satisfy Beerus, and he would then encourage Trunks to get stronger. He feels as if there's another power that Trunks is just nearly about to awaken, and he needs to keep on training, and then maybe he can satisfy Beerus to even a further extent. Trunks is just dumbfounded with this power he possesses, and he heads back to his planet, but before he fully heads back and tells Whis to take him there, he would tell Whis to pick him up in about a week. Trunks would just say how he will keep up his training before Whis would pick him up, however he just wants to have a little bit of time off with his family, and Whis can accept that, so can Beerus. And during this 1 week, oh, what a coincidence, Dabura and Babidi arrive onto Earth. This leads into Trunks easily stopping Dabura and Babidi with minor difficulty and even destroying the egg of Majin Buu, ending the threat entirely, and this time, eventually Whis would come back to Earth, and he would then pick up Trunks once again, and Trunks would do even more training, and during this time, we would only see a glimpse of blue energy coming from Trunks when he's training in the God Room. Trunks discovered a brand new power, and Whis and Beerus are curious of it. However, Trunks would then say how he would like to go back to Earth for at least 1 more week to spend time with his family before he has that final match with Beerus. Beerus and Whis are like, fine, whatever, and Beerus would specifically say to Trunks to not keep him waiting too long.
What's up guys, thanks for Tyler and having me, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Eventually, as we all know, Goku Black would arrive on Earth, attempting to execute the Zero Mortars plan, causing massive damage to a nearby city. This Trunks, being much stronger, would be able to stand up to Black, and even show off the power he has never seen before. Trunks would focus for a second, and in that instance, Trunks' body would emit a light blue light. When this light dwindles away, Trunks is shown to be in blue hair and blue eyes, and even a blue aura. That's right, Trunks is a Super Saiyan Blue. This Trunks, being far more powerful, would bully Black into a pulp, and him seeing him as a threat wouldn't take any chances or get cocky like Gohan did. Trunks would simply kill Goku Black here, which means no time travel into the past, and this time instead of the main timeline just be training, and for the most part, the main timeline's events play out as in canon, while the future timeline wouldn't be erased or ruined like in the original. Trunks saves the day, and eventually I feel like Beerus would attempt to test this new power of Trunks, which leads into the inevitable second match with Beerus and Trunks, which would end still pretty rough for Trunks. However, I do think Beerus would see a lot more progress and acknowledge that. Trunks would even get one good punch in, similar to Vegeta's spar with Beerus in the manga, and like in that fight, Beerus stomps Trunks, but would still give a smile, showing a little bit of positive emotion towards Trunks. He would say, "Not bad, kid. Not bad." And so with that, Trunks would keep up with his training, but for the most part, he would be making sure Earth is okay, and he would be Earth's godly defender. Future Zamasu might arrive back, but I think Trunks would beat him into the point where Beerus and Whis would catch on and arrive. And I think Beerus would still erase this man like how present Beerus did. He decides to throw Trunks a bone, and this would nicely conclude this what if, with Trunks being Earth's peacekeeper. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, then remember to show some support to Tylearn by liking and subscribing. Make sure to check out my channels in the description. So with that being said, see you guys later.